What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the BBL. You're watching this not on Halloween, but it's Halloween for me, so happy Halloween, bitches. So let's talk a little bit. This is a game that I'm very nervous for because I'm going to be playing in a way that nobody will expect. I'm going to be bringing Pokemon that my opponent will not be expecting. By the way, I'm playing Bird, the Flying Bird, and his New South Whalmers? South Port Whalmers, something like that. He's the Whalmers. His logo's in the thumbnail. I don't remember the actual team name. A terrible human being. I'm a terrible human being for not remembering him. He's not a terrible human being, is what I'm trying to say. I'm all over the place because I'm tired. But I wanted to record the team builder because I wanted to make sure that I got it up in a separate video. 1, mo money. 2, mo money. And 3, mo money. But also, I'm just really proud of this team. I think that the team that I built is probably one of the most unique teams I've ever built, and I'm really excited for it. So I definitely wanted to have my full thought process. I spent a lot of time on this team, so we're gonna go into it step by step. This team is the team that we played round 2. And it was very different than it had triple regen instead of double. Like, it had a Moongus, I believe. And it had Mega Diancie. And it had something else. I don't remember what was different about the team. But I know it had a Moongus. I know it had Diancie. And I know that he brought... I think it was just Rock Polish Torterra. I didn't play Bird, I played Mastodon. He brought Rock Polish Torterra to try to break through me, and I just like beat him with Ditto instead. So, and then my Mega Mewtwo X had a phenomenal matchup. I think I was Calm Mind with Psy Strike, Thunderbolt, Low Kick, or maybe just Thunderbolt. Maybe I was just special. I don't remember, but I know that I had mixed offensive moves because I know he burned me with his RCS normal, and it was a very difficult matchup. I could have lost the game very easily, but it came down to the point to where I was doing more damage to him with a burnt low kick than he was doing to me with Judgment. So because of that, I was able to beat his RCS with my burnt Mega Mewtwo X. So. So really interesting first game, and I need to win this to get to finals. So I'm bringing a team that I'm not crazy about it, but I'm also not disappointed in the team. So let's just go ahead and start talking about everything. Of course, Mega Mewtwo X, first thing that's coming. Sub, Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch. I'm bringing no Recover. Really bad idea. I've said before that I think on Mega Mewtwo X, bringing Recover is one of the best things that you can do. So, this is scary for me. However, I do outspeed max speed Arceus. I do outspeed max speed Tornadus, I believe. Let me just double check, because I'm genning it right after this. I outspeed max speed Torn, which means I also outspeed max speed Arceus. And with Substitute, Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, I hit everything on his team, at least neutrally, aside from the Roselia. And if Roselia comes, then that's not a big issue for me personally. So, I definitely think that this thing has a phenomenal matchup. If I get off 2 bulk ups, I win the game. He's unable to kill me with any hit, and I'm able to OHKO or 2-shot everything on his team. Slowbro is the only thing that I cannot 1-shot at +2, but I can 2-shot it. And I have enough special attack investment to where Scald is a very poor roll on his end to break my substitute. Psyshock does not break my substitute after a bulk up, and I think he'll bring Psyshock over Psychic for this game. So because if he's Calm Mind, he's going to want to have Psyshock to be able to hit Ditto if I copy it. So I definitely think that Psyshock is more likely. So I have a really good chance of never having my sub broken by Slowbro. So that's really nice. And realistically, I'm going to try to use Drain Punch as my recovery. All I need to really hit with Thunder Punch is Slowbro and Torn. Everything else aside from Mimikyu can get hit by Drain Punch, and it does a lot of damage. So this Pokemon has a phenomenal, potentially winning matchup, and because of this, I need a few things gone. One, I need Roselia gone. Two, I need Slowbro weakened or very heavily neutralized. And two, well, that's two. Three, I need a way to be able to just wear down everything. And I'm going to bring in Subtoxic Rapidash. I don't know how I feel about this. So realistically, just so spoiler alert, I guess, everything else has some sort of Volt turn on it. Everything else. So they're all going to bait in something. And whatever they bait in, this Rapidash subtoxics them. Beats them 1v1. And that's phenomenal. I don't break a max HP Arceus' substitute, so if he's sub SD, it's scary. However, I think he's going to be a fatter one. I think he's going to be another fat, like, Will-O-Wisp set. He could be like a fat sub-toxic set, something like that. And if that is the case, this can actually still do a lot of damage to it, and that's really, really good for me, as well as also having, like, Bug Buzz potential, me having a bunch of other stuff. So I definitely think that this has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage to my opponent's team. His only two switch-ins to Flare Blitz are Emboar and Slowbro, both of which I outspeed so I can sub-toxic them, both of which I'm able to basically sub up, protect, and then beat them 1v1, and once they get weak enough, that's the Flare Blitz resist gone. And then I guess Mega Ampharos as well, and I can do the exact same thing for Ampharos, and if he sets up on me, that's kind of silly because I could just send in a Ditto and copy it. So I don't think I'll be bringing setup or agility Mega Ampharos, because if I copy Mega Ampharos at +2, and I IV my Ditto to have HP Ice, I sweep through his entire team with his own Mega Ampharos. As long as it has like Thunderbolt, HP Ice, Dragon Pulse. Sweep through his own team. So don't really think that's a good idea either. So basically going around the idea of him not being able to bring setup, this beats everything that I need for my Mega Mewtwo X to just win, which is really, really unique and really, really cool. And I'm hoping to have Rapidash do some sort of good. Next up, we have Fizdef Gliscor. This is going to be one of my main, like, Emboar, Mimikyu, Bisharp checks. It's just really, really good. He doesn't have the best Earthquake switch-ins. His Earthquake switch-ins are Torn and Mega Slowbro. I'm not Mega Slowbro, regular Slowbro, which means that if I just U-turn out, like if I set up rocks and then I just constantly click U-turn, I will get in my Rapidash on the Slowbro. I will get in my Mega Mewtwo on the Torn. I will somehow get a really good matchup. Also, this is really key to note because his stealth rockers aren't the best. He has Torterra and he has Bisharp, and he's brought rocks Bisharp pretty frequently. So this is also a really good like lead check to Bisharp. He either sets up rocks and gives me my Toxic Orb, or gets rid of my Toxic Orb and loses his Bisharp. So one of the two, don't really care which, but this is probably going to be my lead, expecting rocks Bisharp. If I see Torterra, this is probably still going to be my lead because I can just U-turn out on it and drop in Rapidash to Flare Blitz it, drop in my Mega Mewtwo X to Drain Punch it, drop in my Viking Alt to Bug Buzz it, something along those lines. So really, really, really good Pokemon here, and I think that it'll help out a lot with his physically offensive mons. I also have enough defensive estimate to take 2+2 Shadow Claws from Mimikyu, I believe is what it is, as long as he's not Life Orb. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Choice Specs Viking Volt, Bug Buzz Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, HP Ice. HP Ice is very spammable versus my opponent if Slowbro is not there. His only real switch into it is either the Lapras or the Emboar. If Slowbro is there and Lapras and Emboar are not there, I can spam Bug Buzz super freely. It two-shots literally everything on the entire team aside from Mimikyu. So this thing just has really spammable moves versus him. I'm running modest max speed because this forces his Torterra to run either Jolly a lot of speed or Adamant max speed. So that's kind of the hope with this. This is also a really good just switch forcer. Everything on his entire team, so it's really hard to explain, but in game, like if I U-turn here, right? Like, so let's say he leads off with Bisharp, I click Earthquake, he goes down to Focus Sash or whatever have you, I click U-turn and kill something, or I kill his Bisharp, or he switches out into his Slowbro. I can then drop in Vikavolt, and his switch-ins to electric type attacks are either Mega Ampharos or Torterra, which neither one can take 2 Choice Specs Bug Buzzes, and I outspeed modest Mega Ampharos. So do a crap ton of damage to literally everything, and he has to be Fat Torn to be able to take 2 Bug Buzzes. In fact, just to see the damage, because yeah, Choice Specs Bug Buzz can even 2-shot Torn, like, and if he's offensive with Hurricane, it doesn't kill me. I think Z does though. Yeah, Z Hurricane is the only thing that kills my Vikavolt. So this thing just breaks through something early game if I just click Bug Buzz early on, which is really, really nice, and that's kind of the whole idea behind it. Next up, we have a Spadef Arceus, Arceus Rock, Savali Rock, of course, and I want to have Defog. I want to have Defog so goddamn bad. But I physically am unable to allow Bisharp to come in on me and set up for free. If Bisharp sets up to +2, I just lose this game. Especially if he's Life Orb. So I have to have Hidden Power Fighting on this thing. I cannot let him set up for free if he's Life Orb. I cannot allow it. So because of that, I'm forced to run Hidden Power Fighting. And let me just double check some damages and stuff. I want to make sure that that me going from Jolly to like Rash is not useful. So it kind of is. Kind of useful. But it does 82 to 100, and if he has no investment, it's not that useful. So I can just leave it like this, and I can still 2-shot it guaranteed, which is more than likely what I'm going to do anyway. So this is also not a bad lead if I just decide to click Hidden Power Fighting. The only thing is I cannot click Parting Shot if Bisharp is there or until I've killed Bisharp. Otherwise, I will lose the entire game because it will get a +3 boost immediately and sweep through my entire team with Sucker Punch. The only failsafe I have to that is if I go into my Rapidash, I click Substitute, and then I click Flare Blitz on it. My only failsafe. So I do need to be a little careful, but that is pretty much the whole role of our Savali Rock, is to be able to take on his Tornadus. Tornadus cannot do anything to this unless he is running Superpower, which he has no reason to run Superpower. He would run a Heat Wave, U-turn, Hurricane, knock off Defog, Icy Wind, Taunt, things like that make sense. Superpower does not make sense because Superpower does not hit a single thing on my team super effectively aside from Savali Rock or Savali Steel, which Heat Wave also hits along with my Mawile. So do not think fighting coverage comes from that. So Savali Rock can really come in handy to take hits from the Torn T. Last but not least, this set I'm petrified for. Petrified. Because I'm running an offensive Vaporeon. So let's run down the list of his Pokemon that like to take the combination of Scald, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball. Arceus doesn't. Torn gets 1-shot after Rocks. Slowbro gets 2-shot after Stealth Rocks. Mimikyu gets 1-shot if Disguise is up. Bisharp gets 1-shot if I get a little tiny bit of chip damage off. Lapras does, but Emboar hates Scald. Mega Ampharos hates Ice Beam. And then the 2 grass types also hate Ice Beam with Expert Belt. So this thing does a lot of damage with a modest nature. Blows through so much of his team. He doesn't have a safe switch in. The hope is that what I'm able to do is I'm able to outspeed Torterra and catch it off guard. I'm hoping that I will be able to get like a U-turn off on my Gliscor on something, drop in my Vaporeon on the Torterra, click Ice Beam and kill it. Or he will go into Slowbro, take an Ice Beam, and then take 2 Shadow Balls, and it will just flat out die. So that is the hope, and I think that's a very good idea. But as you can see, I have Parting Shot, I have Baton Pass, I have Volt Switch, and I have U-turn. Get out of here, bro. All of which to try to take advantage of the fact that I have a sub-toxic Rapidash and a sub-bulk up Mega Mewtwo. I think that this strategy can work out really well, especially if Bird isn't expecting it. That's the hope, at least. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below for me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.